So I got something really cool here. I found this really cool throwing axe on Amazon and I decided to check it out. So I bought it and I made this cool target to use for a throwing axe, and it actually turned out really cool. So check it out. I really wanted some sort of axe hatchet type thing in order to split wood, make tinder, kindling for campfires, kind of a camping axe. But I also wanted something that looked really cool and something that was weighted properly in order to be able to throw it. It comes with this rubber type covering. Now when you first get it, it's not sharp at all. So you will need to sharpen it, and it comes with a sharpening stone. But it's a bearded axe, so it's got this arch to it. That's meant for peeling bark off of logs if you want to. The head is loose on it, so it comes off, but that is meant for if you're throwing it and you hit the target abnormally, it's not going to snap. There is some give to it. So this goes in, then you just tap this on the ground, and now it's solid again. I like this because it has a hammer edge to it, or a hammer side. So pounding in stakes or nails or whatever around the campsite, you can totally do that. So I might actually get a couple of these and have in the vehicle for camping trips. So very cool. Now, what we'll need to do is make an axe throwing target. So I have some old wood that I got and from some old pallets. So we're going to take that wood apart. We're going to make a target for this, and we're going to sharpen this edge. We're going to try it out. Here's all the scrap wood that I have. So here are some old pallets and just old junky wood. I'm going to take a lot of these apart and just kind of see what kind of wood I have to work with to make this target. And got to get all these metal staples and things out of there because I don't want the axe to be able to hit some of this metal and destroy the axe blade. This is the wood I have to work with now. I found this piece, which is a marine grade green treated wood that's painted, and I might use that as the base so it'll actually last during the winter and not rot. So I might use that as the base, put those planks on top, lay them out, draw a circle around and cut a circle. For the target, you want softwood. So this is all pine, that's all softwood, and that should be soft enough where the axe would sink into that decently. The problem is being outdoors, that's not going to last very long. So we may actually paint it. So we'll kind of get creative with that. Okay, we're going to draw the circle around here. So first I found the maximum diameter and then cut that in half. So found the radius and drilled holes at different spaces along this scrap piece of wood. And these holes are going to be the rings of the target. I just drilled a hole there, put a nail in temporarily, and then these are going to have the pencil, and we're going to go around and draw the different rings of the target. So now that we have our circles drawn, we're going to put a bunch more nails in this outer rim all along the outside, and then we'll take a saw and we'll just cut all that excess off and make a nice circle. Now that we have our target finished, or cut out anyway, it's actually looking kind of like a Viking shield. And so I think what we're gonna do is look up some cool pictures of some Viking shields and just kind of paint it how we want it. I didn't really measure out the size of the shield or the rings. We're not really going for like championship axe throwing regulation size targets. I just made kind of whatever felt right and what looked right, and we're just looking to have some fun with it. So we might get creative with some painting here. So overall, looks pretty good. Don't quite know how I'm gonna mount it yet, but we may have to figure something out because the ground is frozen, and so we may have to just kind of temporarily hang it from a tree or something like that until we can put some green treated stakes into the ground in the spring. So this axe comes with a sharpening stone or a whetstone. Now this is a whetstone, not an oil stone. So it requires some water on the blade to provide some lubricant while you're sharpening. There's a coarse side and a fine side. So with the axe being held upside down, you first start by putting a little bit of water on the blade, and then working from the heel to the toe in a circular motion, holding it flat. This is a flat-faced bevel in a slight circular manner all the way down, and you keep repeating. When you start hearing metal grinding, add more water and keep doing that. And you keep working your way down until you can feel a little bit of a burr developing like this, curving outward like that. That tells you, when you have that burr across the entire edge, that tells you to go ahead and flip the axe the other way now, and then start on this side with a coarse blade or with a coarse whetstone. And you keep repeating that process until then you use the fine side and do the final fine tuning of both sides. So after I've spent some time sharpening this axe, you can now see that this edge is fairly polished now, and you can kind of make out that fine bevel right at the very edge. So it's got a good sharp blade. I tried to maintain the flatness without curving too much on one side. I don't know if you can see that too well or not, but I tried to maintain the flatness symmetrically on both sides. And this side, you can see it's fairly polished too. So it's got a nice sharp edge to it now. Now, in order to prevent rusting of this metal, I'm actually going to put a protective coating of fluid film on here. And that's going to prevent some rusting. I'm going to just kind of rub it all in and take the handle out and rub it all on the inside also. The handle is actually, I looked it up, it's actually beechwood, and I'm going to put a little bit of wax on this entire handle just to help prevent any sort of deterioration if it gets wet. So it's looking pretty good. You know, again, just to give you a rough idea of time, this took me probably a good hour of the sharpening. So it really helps to have a nice sharp axe when you're throwing an axe. And the purpose of that is that when you're throwing it, you're just trying to get it to stick into the wood. You're not going for you're not like in berserker mode or trying to annihilate the target. You're just trying to throw it strong enough where it sticks to the board and not damages it too much. So having a nice sharp axe really helps prevent that. Prevents overthrowing and trying to throw it too hard, so that way you can just focus more on accuracy instead of trying to annihilate the target. So a sharp axe is very important. I found some old polyurethane varnish that I'm going to use. This is Royal Walnut, and we're going to try to put a finish on this to make it kind of have a protective coating, and also to look a little bit more darker in color, more like shield-like. So we're going to give that a try. So first, we just kind of invert it, or you can stir it with a stir stick. You don't want to shake it. You don't want to cause any sort of bubbles. I'm doing this outside because of the fumes and the vapors. We don't want any of that. And be sure to wear gloves. And we're going to get started. So we have some red paint, kind of rusty color paint. We're going to do kind of this X type pattern. I'm just going to kind of dry brush a little bit here. Yeah, that's looking real good so far. So I like the kind of the Viking type look of it. What we'll probably do is maybe paint a circle in the center, maybe paint it kind of a metallic type paint to make it look like a metal ring in the center, and maybe around the edge to make it look like a metal band around the edge. It won't be metal, it'll be all wood, so you can still throw an axe at it, but yeah, it's looking pretty good. Also remember, when you're throwing an axe, the grain of the wood needs to go up and down. So when you throw an axe, it's going to go like this, so that'll make it stick a lot easier in the vertical grain. So that would be the top and that would be the bottom. I've forged, hammered paint and primer spray paint that we have just on hand. So we're going to give this a try. We have this masked off, and then this rim masked off too, and this is just some saran wrap. All right. So after a few tries, I eventually got the axe to be able to stick after about 4 or 5 tries. And the key is you have to measure about 12 feet away from the target. So if you find that the axe keeps bouncing off, just make sure your measurement is pretty close to 12 feet, and you can adjust forward or backward and try to make it work. And you actually do have to throw with more effort than I thought in order to get it to stick, even in the soft wood of this pallet. So I did have a few of the pallet woods pop off, a few of the planks pop off, and so I put a few screws up in the top, and that I'm not super crazy about because I don't want the axe to hit those screws, so I guess I'll just try to get a little bit more accurate. But overall, it's a very cool project. It's very fun to do and pretty low expense. Again, this axe was only about $30 or so. All this wood and paint and everything, that was all for free from a used up pallet. And one thing about the handle on the axe, after a few tries, you can see that it's nicked and gouged up a little bit. Actually, this wood is actually pretty soft wood. It's not like a hard hickory or anything like that. So I imagine after quite a bit of use, you might be able to replace this handle with a different sort of throwing type handle that might be hickory or a harder wood. Other than that, the blade has kept its sharpness, and it's a very durable blade so far. Everything's been working pretty well for it. So it's a great fun thing to do for low expense, and definitely encourage you to try it out. try something new and try it out. I'll put the link of this throwing axe in the description below. So I know what you're probably wondering is, does this axe fit in the door slot of the 4Runner? So let's just take a look here. We'll take the old one out. So here I have the winch controller. I'll take that out. So it looks like it fits okay. Yeah, it actually looks like it fits real nice right there. I think I might just keep that there. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and share it, subscribe. It helps out the channel a lot, helps motivate me to make new videos. Let me know in the comments below if you did this project and if it worked out well for you. Thanks a lot. Thanks for watching. Bye.